This is the greatest theme song. Hello, everybody. So I have been asked, and I have been asked, and I've been asked to make some 788 videos, some tutorials. So we are going to start right from the beginning. So here I am in front of my 788. There you go. So we're starting off with the 788 today, and we're going to start by creating a song. We're going to create the song. I'm going to show you how to assign tracks. I don't think I have anything hooked up. We'll figure that out when I get there. So, all right. So the first thing is, make sure that you have your thing plugged in here. As you can see, I have it going monitor out. This, in my case, is going into my little mixer that's way over here. And this mixer is attached to this computer right here. And that computer is attached to this monitor right here. And that is going to make the sound for this video, which I'm working on. So, excuse me, I'm still getting over that cold that I got. It just won't go away. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to click menu. And once you click menu, you get song coming up. Why am I not using my little thing here? It's not going to work on this one. I'm sorry. See, it's not going to fit right, so I'm not going to worry about it. And in this case, this screen is great. I love this screen. I would say that out of all the screens, I like this one the best. I don't care about color. This one shows me exactly what I need to see. It's clear. I love it. So, okay, so I said menu. We got song. So I want to pick song. So now we go and you say yes. So this is your enter yes button. So I'm going to click it. And as you can see now, it says, I have three options here. I have create, save, and revert. Oh no, I got more than three. So I got load, erase, copy, delete unused, protect. So what do they do? I do not know what revert does. I'm assuming it takes it back to whatever it was before I did any changes. I don't know. We'll look into that later. That's not important right now. So you got create, save. So creative would be create a new song. Save a song, save the one you're working on. Revert, probably revert it back to some form. I will have to look into that. Load, that would be bring in a new song. Erase, well, erase is self-explanatory. I'll delete the song. Copy, delete unused. That gets rid of any of the junk files that get created as you're building the song. Anything that anytime you've done a version or something, or you've cut and pasted, that's that. Protect, that just makes sure that you can't change the song here. Like you can't make any modifications. We're going to do create. So once again, we hit enter yes. So there we go. So now I have the song name here and I have the resolution. We're going to change the name of the song. The title, how do I do that on this one? Okay, so you see I got the title button here. It's highlighted blue, which means I got to hit the shift button. The shift button is here. So shift, title. And now it asks me for a new title. And you use the jog button, so you can see my finger over there in the corner. So we're going to change it to, just for fun, we're going to change it to, since I don't really care. Oh yeah, so the other thing you can do with it, so as you can see it says Pong now, which is fine. So you can also say small, so now I'm going to be small characters. So if I want to change it, so I got capitals, and I think the next one is word. So I don't know, word would be whatever you want to call it. So you can put different words in there too. That's a new one to me. So intro, melody, verse, chorus. Oh, cool. I'm going to go, numeric as well. So, and then I think if you're in small, you can do numeric too. I'm not sure. You can do symbols. As you can see, you can do symbols when you're in small. I'm just going to roll around here. We're going to look for a second. Yeah, so you can do numeric there as well. So as you can see, W, X, Y, Z, square bracket. I thought it was a 9. Oh, maybe it's an @ sign. Okay. Either way, we're going to call this, I don't want to spend a lot of time, so we're just going to call this Bohoris. So there's my song name. If I'm happy with it, hit enter. All right, so now we got Bohoris. You can change what kind of bit you want. Same thing, use your jog. So you got 24 and 16. Those are your two options in that case. Now on this thing, it does what is it? It's 44.1. So it's CD level is what you call that. That's how fast it is. Doesn't go 48. It's 44.1 or 44.1, depending on how you want to look at it. And then once you've got what you want, so now you see I have down here I have enter and exit. So exit means that will go back. So you got your yes no is exit, enter and exit as well. That's all I got to remember in this case. So go exit, execute. So hit enter, it executes. Hit exit, it goes back. So I can go back and take whatever I got. So I'm going to do Bohoris. I don't think you can rename the song after you've done it. I don't think they have that ability on this. Like, I don't think they have this on. So this will be called Bohoris forever, which I'm okay with. So press enter. And now you can see it's closing the current song, which I think was, no, that would be its MIDI. So now we're opening up Bohoris. Okay, so there we go. We got Bohoris, and it's 24-bit, and it's loaded in. Now, we need to assign the tracks. Now, they have this button here, Quick Setup. This is actually really nice. This is really nice. So what you can do is if you click Quick Setup, then you can say, well, I want this for recording, for mix down. So you set it for how you want to use it. So you got your bounce, your scene. I don't know what those, I guess those, I'd have to look those up. Those might be already in there. We'll have to look those up. I've never used them. So right now I can say I want this for recording. So I click on enter. And now as you can see, now it's pulled up the assign map, which is right there. That's done with shift and then assign map. And so it's telling me, which I love. So we have it set up so that these are you have going down, you have your input, your source, and then you have the rest. You have your sort where it's coming from, and then you have your track numbers going across. And so as you can see, so right now one is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, and everybody else is going into auxiliary. And the auxiliary input is right there, and it is 1/4 inch. I don't know if it's balanced or not. We're going to just say at the moment, we're going to say unknown. So, but that's what it is. So now I have all that set up. I'm good to go here. And what do I do now? I can then go along here. So as you can see right now, it's got input A and select. So input B, select, input C, select. And as I click on those, you can see it is now changed to show me the panning on the screen there. So yeah, so it doesn't matter which one I push, it will switch. And then you have the auxiliary inputs, and it will show you here that it's got these two. I wonder why it's not showing 7/8 as an auxiliary. So let's see, let's go to stereo. Stereo does not show that. Track input, there we go. So now it's showing the virtual tracks here, but it's saying that auxiliary inputs 5 and 6 are linked. So what does that mean? That means that 5 is your left side and 6 is your right side. So I just turned on record there. So either way, that's how we do that. And then you have your submix button here. That's for later. That's for when you want to listen to stuff. Now let's just go through the quick setup for fun here. So we'll just go and we'll now switch over to mix down. So what does it look like when I do a mix down? So let's go enter. All right, so now you can see everything is on track. So what does that mean? That means it looks at this as these are all tracks. So now every single one, it's going to play what comes out of the track. It's not going to worry about what's coming through the inputs. So as you can see now, they're all lined up to the track. And now what you can do, now let's say you don't want this to be linked. You just double click. You just click both of them down together and it'll turn off the link. And click them both together, turn it back on. That's all that does. And you can do that with actually all of them if you really want to. So now these are all now, and if you look over here, you can see it has actually switched it to stereo left, right. So, and then that's, I think 7 and 8 is stereo left, right anyways. But yeah, so that's what it does. And then if we turn it off, so let's go back over to 1, 2 here. So let's go back here. I'm going to push both down. And now you see they're separate. They're looked at as two separate entities. If I put them together, they're one, and they are run over there. Which one does it run it? Looks like it looks like, yeah. So the way it works is, just so you know, so you've got them linked like that. The left one is the one that runs the level. This is now not used at all. So as you can see, I'm moving it up and down, and it ain't doing anything. But if I take it off, now that will move one will move that, and 2 will move that. So there you go. That's more information for you on that case. So, and let's go now bounce. This is nice because a lot of times what you'll do is you'll record using, like, if you're doing drums or something, you would have your set up as, you know, like tom, kick. You can only record 4 at a time. Well, that's the only thing. So like I would record tom, kick, and because of the way this system works, which I didn't know when I did its MIDI, but now I know, 5 and 6 I would have set up with the overheads. So I would have had A, B attached to 1 and 2, C and D attached to 5 and 6, and I would have had them linked. So I would have had them linked like that. But so now we're going to do a bounce. So let's just go down one more on here. So we're on the screen. We're going down to bounce. And then we're going to select that. So yes. All right. Now, as you can see, it has it set up as everybody on track except for 2, 7, and 8, which is stereo. What does that mean? Well, that means it's going to play the tracks through the stereo bus, and then we're going to capture the stereo bus on 7 and 8. So now, if you notice, the select comes up. It's on the stereo bus. For 7 and 8, these two, it always links. You can just knock them off if you want. And then, yeah, so you got 1, 2, and the rest are all in tracks. And so, yeah, that's 7. And so 5 and 6 is that way. That allows you to do a bounce. So you can take all the tracks here, and you can bounce them all to 7 and 8, which is great, which is a great system. That's probably why I like these quick selects. Now, I don't know what scene lib 1 is, but let's just, for the heck of it. Oh, so it's got different scene libraries. So maybe that's ones that you can store yourself. So there's scene 1, which is everything's assigned except for 7 and 8. And that is assigned on the auxiliary. So that's coming, the auxiliary inputs would get that, which is kind of nice. So if you're recording like something like with a stereo output and you want to record it down, you've got right there the auxiliaries. Now, I think you can let's see. So if I go here, if I click auxiliary and if I click stereo, no, all right. So I think what I did, I don't think I did what I wanted to do. All right, no. So I got to look into how the auxiliary inputs work. So you also have a track cue. This is the part that confused me. Let's go home for a second. So what the track cue does is it allows you to, if you want to listen to what you're recording. So what I would do is I would hold down track cue, and I'm trying to remember how to do this now. So I'm not sure. I think what it is, I'll have to look it up. But let me look it up, and we'll talk about track cue in a second because I have used it before. All right, so after doing a little bit of reading, what track cue is, track cue, now if you've seen me use the 464 before, I have that little area on the 464 that shows that's like that's all dials for 1, 2, 3, 4. So what track cue does is it allows you to change whether or not you can hear what is on the track. So it's not used by the faders. So as you can see, I'm moving the faders and it's not doing anything to them. So what you do is you can set where you want it to pan and where you want it to go. And this is good for when you've recorded something and you've recorded it and now you want to listen to it while you're recording another part. So that's what track cue is for. So So what you do is as you can see, I have it at 100 here. You have to have the cue light on here. This is very important. If you don't have the cue light on, you can't hear anything. I learned that the hard way. Well, I learned that took me a while to figure out. So you need the cue light on for this to work. Then what you can do is, depending on where it's highlighted, you move that around with your cursor key back down here, the arrow keys. So as you can see, it's moving around. And you can actually do it on the board too, so I can select what channel I want to work on. And now I'm on the stereo. I think I'm on 5, 6, and then 7 and 8. So yeah, so you can set how loud you want it to be. So I wonder if let's see what have I do a linked one. So you can even, that's kind of neat. So you can actually, in the case of a cue, even though it's linked, as you can see, it just moves the 1. And you can change the panning, so you move the cursor up to the top, and you can change where you're panned to. This is there so that you can listen to what you've already recorded. So you're not like, well, what did it sound like? So you got the cue light on. You can just, if you don't want to hear it, you turn the cue light off. So that's like when you first start working on something. I'm gonna work on a song on this. Don't worry, I will do something with it. I just haven't decided what yet. I got so many things on the go here, so it's unbelievable. Now, in the case of this machine, this is the big thing that you got to remember. There is no CD player. There is no USB out. There's no USB. There's no CD player. There's just a hard drive internally. I don't have an easy way to get any kind of input or import on here. So this will not be an import. Whatever I do on this, it's on this machine. It's on this machine. If you are lucky enough to have, there's your hard drive output, or if you're lucky to have something that you can connect into this and it works, go for it. Do the imports, I mean. Do the exports, do the imports. That is part of my goal. Like, part of my goal, as I've said, is to get every single Tascam I can. And I do want to get the hard drive or the CD player or whatever for this machine. That is part of my goal. My goal is not to just have this and then be like, yay, look at that. This is step one. This is step one out of a million, probably. So let's get back to this. So that's what Q does. So yeah, remember, you have to have Q on. The other thing is, if you want to listen to specific things on your system, another thing, Q only works through the monitor outs or the headphone. The headphone jack on this machine is, where is the headphone jack on this machine? Oh, right here. So over in the corner here, this is your headphone jack. I'm used to them being on the front. So that's the only place where Q works. So if you're doing on the stereo output, which is here, you are not going to get, Q does not matter to it. It doesn't care. Stereo output is generally for that. It's a static level. It does not get affected by like the monitor volume. It is only affected by the stereo fader, which is the red knob here. So that is what works with that. And it is meant for you to output your sound to record on, say, and I'm going to get really old here, a cassette, a CD, into your computer, which is generally how I do this. So that is what that is for. So that's how you set up. So now you know how. I've given you a quick setup. All right, so what I didn't show you is, let's go quick setup here. Let's go back into recording. So I'm going to say recording. So enter, yes. This is a standard look for recording. Now let's say you don't want to use that. You want to do other things. So let's say you want to record, you're recording a keyboard part to start with, and you want it on track 7 and 8. So what you would do is, and you're going to use inputs A and B for that. Now that's the other thing. It's the same with every other Tascam. If you're doing left and right in a digital environment, and you have a linked track, it's generally left, right, left, right. There's no dancing around the subject. So as you can see, I think, yeah, it shows that it's on there too as the auxiliary inputs. But let's say you want to record A and B, you're going to use it to record onto that track. Now, as you can see, we're going to go to the assign map. So let's go shift, assign map. So we got the assignment map. I don't think I can change anything from there, but what I can do is I can click the input and I can say I want this to be on 7 and 8. So as you can see now, it has switched it over to 7 and 8 over here. And then I can also say, well, B, I also want on 7 and 8. So now I switch it over there. Now, as you can see, A is 7 and B is 8. And it doesn't matter what I do. So let's say I say, well, you know what? I've decided I don't want A to be on there anymore. And it has now gone down. But now I pick C and I say, and I select it. You can see it is now, oh, it did work. Look at that. Well, oh no, C is now on 7 and B is on 8. So you can do it in this case. Didn't know that. But yeah, I would generally stick with, you know, so that you don't confuse yourself, because right now you might go, well, you might put your right side in on B and your left side in on A, on C, and you don't want to do that. You want to match up the way you expect. So yeah, so that's what I would do. So now let's say I say select and I hit D. Now it has switched over to C and D. So with all logic, if I select A, it should turn off C and go there. So let's see. So let's just try that. Yes. And we can just make sure. So back to C, it's not some kind of weird thing. So if I click B, it will take D away. It's just that's how it looks at it. So that's how the system looks. So you can do something really weird and you can do A and D like that, which is really strange, but you can do it. Okay, so that's discussed. Now it's the same with the link track. So we have this is linked, and right now it's coming through. It thinks it's coming through the auxiliary inputs. Let's go back to the map here. So shift map. There we go. So now you can see 5 and 6 is set up on the auxiliary. But I can do the same thing. So right now I have, all right, let's just do this so I don't confuse myself. Okay, so I'm going to move that. So now I have it set up that track 7/8 is now CD. Okay, I'm doing that so I don't confuse myself. So now if I hit input A and I click on there, now you can see because they're linked, 5 and 6 are now lit up together as A, which means that whatever comes into A will go onto both tracks at the same time. That's how that works. So now I go B, and then I click here, and then now you can see 5 and 6. Now, if I go B and I click here, now both of them will be set up. Now let's click on A, and I'll click on 6, and it worked. Good Lord. This is insane. So, all right. Either way, that's how that works. So now I'm just going to unlink both of these. So now they're two separate channels. They don't care. They're not attached at the hip anymore. So and it works the same. So like if I want to input A on track 1, and you can do this with the auxiliaries too. So you can go auxiliaries track 2, and I won't go back to the assign map so I can show you this stuff. So shift assign map. I love this. This is cool. This tells. It's pretty much the same as on the DP32 where it shows you what on the letters which one are on, what track they're on. But it's cool. They just got a little more strict on things. So like, you know, A, B, C, D, E. You know, you can't just go A, D or A, C. It doesn't work that way. It's weird. It's weird how this thing works. So, all right. So yeah. So now I have both of these are on the auxiliary inputs. I do not want them linked. Oh, did it again. It switched it over. So go back. Just stay on the assign map for me. All right. Then you can do it with track 2. So I can say, well, I want to listen to tracks 3 and 5. So there. And then 4, I can say I want input C or input B. So 4, input B. And then 6 is input A. And then 7 and 8 is C and D. There we go. There you go. There's my craziness. So that's how you would assign a track. And then if you need to be able to hear it, have the cue turned on. That's very important. And that is a great start to this machine. Now you can just go, and I'll just show you if you want to record. Just click on the buttons here. This now tells you that it's getting ready to record, and you can turn them all on. I guess you can record everything at the same time. We could try that one day. Maybe I'll try that on the next video. So yeah, the only thing is I can't assign everything to one. Although you can assign, very weirdly, everything to auxiliary inputs. Like I can't assign. Oh, I guess I can. Look at that. Okay. I stand once again corrected. Okay, that did not work. Let's see. So I've just turned those off. Okay. So let's talk about that. All right. This is the once again, like I said, this machine is I've used it, but it's still very new to me. So you can, if you've ever watched me do this, you can assign every track input to every track, but if you assign it to 7 and 8, it will wipe out the rest of these. So can you record them all at the same time? That is a good question. I'm going to say yeah, because it's allowing me to turn them all on. So, but as you can see, if I select 7 and 8 on A, it says, okay, everybody else, clear out. So then I could probably do B and then just select B on all the rest of them. So there you go. So it's one of those weird things that Tascam did. So I'm going to end the video here for today. That's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know where else to go with this right now. So next video, I will look at recording something, and then we'll talk about bouncing, and then we'll talk about other things such as the effects, the internal effects, and we'll go through it all like I did with the DP32. Like I still should do this for the 2488 because I've never actually done a full 2488 system breakdown. So I'm going to do this for all of them. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
This is the greatest theme song. This is the